All right. Batman, Heart of Ice, Act 1. So the Batmobile pulls up, as well as a police escort, as they go to investigate Mr. Freeze as he's breaking into one of the cryo-freezing labs in Gotham. And as he arrives, Mr. Freeze is, "It is the Batman," and he peppers the front of the entranceway with ice. It coats this police car fully, causes it to stop. Batman's car, the Batmobile, comes to a stop, crunching on some of the ice. As Batman exits the car, he notices that there are 6 civilians that are frozen in ice. They've only got a certain amount of time before they might freeze to death, so Batman needs to act quick. But he also needs to stop Mr. Freeze. "Alfred, there are some civilians here caught by Victor Freeze's ice blast. Some of those thermal charges that you took from the Batcave might be able to thaw them quickly." So, Batman's goal is to rescue the 6 hostages by breaking them out of the ice and then rescuing them. He also has to knock out Mr. Freeze. If Mr. Freeze is still alive and kicking, by the end of round 4, he has escaped with the frozen canisters. So, the gadgets that I've taken into this battle are the zipline, 2 throwing blades, the grapnel gun, knockout gas, and some smoke bombs. Now the reason I have 6 is because I've taken the skill, the world's greatest detective. During this battle, Batman receives 1 extra focus, bringing me up to 5 focus from my 4. And I get 2 extra gadget cards, so I took 2 extra gadgets. Batman may also make 1 investigate for free. I also have the Dark Knight mode card, I'm Batman. Batman may perform special actions on himself, and at the start of each round he gains 1 focus. I will start my turn by preparing some dice with Batman's prepare action.
I'm prepared for anything.
I will prepare the middle dice to be a double fist, and then I will roll the rest. All right. I have 1 fist and 1 shield and 1 punch, so I'll put that here, and I'll put a double batarang in my first spot. And because of the Dark Knight rules, the first spot here is doubled, so I get a duplicate of that icon, and then the last space can be a wild, so it can be anything, a punch, a boot, a ranged attack, or a shield icon. So, start of the turn, I will draw the first initiative card. The Batman. So Batman's going to go.
I know what has to be done.
He is going to break the entangle. So he's going to spend 2 icons, which gives him 2 dice. And his attack value is 3. So I'm going to be rolling 5 dice against the 3 entangle. And enough to break it. So from my utility belt, I take out a thermal charge, strap it on there, and then with a quick burst of steam, the entanglement is broken. And then I will spend the 1 punch icon I have here to get her free, to use a special action to rescue the hostage. So she runs free, which is nice. Then with my wild action, spend the 1 movement to get 3 movement points. And I will go 1, 2, 3 to here. And from there, I will use my throwing blade to spend 2 icons here to throw a batarang at this thug here. "It's the Bat! Plug him!" "You'll have to stop the Batman from getting to me. Quick, hurry." So, "It's the Bat! Waste him!" So I will spend the 2 icons, which give me 2 dice. The throwing blade grants me another dice, and my standard attack value is 3. The batarang will not weaken for the first 4 spaces, so 1, 2, 3. So yeah, easy to hit him. And then we have hit him for, we've got 5 damage. He has a natural 2 block, so 3 go through. The batarang sticks right into the barrel. and blasts him back. Ugh. With the last one, I will throw a batarang, another one, but I won't use a throwing blade. I'll throw at this guy here, which is 1, 2, 3 spaces away. So he is optimal. He's 1 away from optimal range, so I'm going to be minusing 1 to my range value. So I spent 2 icons, giving me 2 dice, and then my natural value is 3. So here we go. Oh, 1, 2, 3. I will re-roll those 3 dice with focus. There we go. And we have, he blocks 2. It's going to be -1, so I'll take 1 dice away for -1. He blocks 2. And then there's 3 left over, which these 2, 1 batarang into the arm that's holding the gun, and he drops it. Ah! And then he's too afraid, so he runs away. Ah! And he runs away. It's the freaking bat! Get out of there! Is all Batman's actions done? Then we have the next card, the hired guns. So, because it's a henchman, the enforcers will activate, giving them 1 action. So he'll go 1, 2, and then this guy here will go 1, 2, 3. And then the hired guns will go, and they will go 1, 2, 1, 2. And they each get 1 attack at Batman. So 1, 2, 3, yep, they're in range. So their attack is 2. And Batman's defense is 4, naturally, with the Dark Knight mode, plus this extra dice, extra one that I have here on this punch shield. So 5 dice defense, trying to block 2. I block 1, so I'll take 1 damage, bringing me from 15 to 14. And then the second guy will shoot. It's the freaking bat, plug him! And the ice is sort of shattering. So that one of them clipped me as I went past, and then the next shot, oh, it's coming through. I'm going to use a focus to re-roll all dice. And I got 1 block, so 1 damage goes through. So I bring my cape up, but all the ice is blottering. I'm trying to protect the civilians as best as can, and I just take 1 to the arm. Ugh. All right, next activation card we have is Mr. Freeze. Because he's got shared line of sight, he's only going to move 1. So let's do something thematic. He's going to walk to the canister here with his 1 movement action, and then he's going to use his 2 leftover actions to pick up the canister, and then a second action to pick up the canisters. So he's all loaded for bears, and then he'll head back to the truck after that. And because of escalation mode, Batman's escalation mode, Mr. Freeze will return to the bottom of the deck and get a second activation this turn. Mr. Freeze's activation, we have the Batman. So everything resets. This wild icon becomes a wild again. And then we have to get out of there. So what I'll do is I'll use the 2 punches here. So 2 punch icons plus my 3 to break the entanglement here. So shatter the ice. So this time I'm just going to use the gauntlets, the little blades on my gauntlets, to start chipping away. And 3 damage, yep. And then it cracks away. The civilian looking very perplexed. What's going on? Oh my god, the Batman! And then I will use 1 icon here, the punch icon, to get out of here, get safe. And that civilian runs free. Then I will use this wild icon as a move icon. And I will spend it to go, I will wait. I'll keep it wild, and I'll throw 2 batarangs. So 2 icons plus 3 for my attack to go 1, 2, 3 to this grey hired gun. He is going to be -1 attack because he's 1 space away from optimal range. And Batman throws a batarang, so it's going to be -1 because it's not an optimal range. And I've got 5 left over, 2 for his block, and then 3 go through for damage. This one gets him in the kneecap, and he's like, ah! He falls to the ground, grabbing his knee. And then the last one will be I'll use my boots. So I'll spend a move action to move 3. So 1, 2 to leap over this fence. 1, 2, 3 to here. And then I will use a batarang to chip away at the ice. Entanglement can be attacked with ranged attacks from adjacent spaces. So 3 dice, and then 2 dice for the icons, 3 for my natural, and I'm going to attack the entanglement. This time I'm just going to chip away at it with the batarang. And then enough to break the ice. Oh, it's the Batman. That is the end of Batman's action. And then we have the enforcers will go. So this guy will go 1, 2. Then this guy will go 1, 2. And they get their they get 2 actions, but they're going to use 1 action to move. And the ice has stopped them from moving because their movement is 3. Then we have the Crusher, but because he's a henchman, the enforcers get to go. 1, 2. Yep, tricky ice, so they can't really move, so the Crusher goes. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3. The Crusher jumps down there, and he cracks his knuckles. I'm going to enjoy this, Batman. Let's waste him. And then we have the Batman. So Batman recovers all of his action dice. Batman will use 1 punch icon to get this lady free. She runs free. Thank you, Batman. And then the Batman will use his zip line. So move up to 5 spaces in a straight line as though you were leaping. Any enemy figures you move through suffer +2 melee attack. So I'm going to go. So I put my grapple gun out. It shoots and connects into the back of the concrete behind me, and then it sends itself forward and then cracks into just the layer of ice just in front of this woman here. So it doesn't penetrate too far. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So and I zip line along. And then as I get there, I will then get there and I will double punch the hired gun. So 1, 2, and then 3 naturally to knock out the hired gun. Oof. So we have 2, he blocks 2, and then 3 go through. And then he skids on the ice. Unconscious. And then now that I'm there, I will use the boot icon. I'll use a wild action to use, not yet. Let's throw some batarangs. So I'll throw 2 batarangs at this henchman up there. And I will use a throwing blade to get 1 extra. So 2 icons, 1 from the throwing blade and 3 as my natural attack, giving me 6 dice at this enforcer. I will re-roll these 2 with a focus. Alright, we have 6 damage all up. And then they block 2, so 4 go through of his 5 health. I will use a movement icon to grant myself 3 movement points, and I'll go 1 and then 2, 3 to flip over the fence. And then I will use a batarang 2, 3 to chip away at this ice barricade here. So 3 for my automatic attack, and then 2 for my icon spent. 1, 2, 3, yeah. This one shatters. I look down at my belt and I've only got a couple of more thermal charges to use on the ice. Batman just cracked that ice, and then we have the next card, which will be Mr. Freeze. And now he will return to the car. 1, 2, his first action. And then his second action will be to drop 1 into the back of the truck. And then his third action will be to drop the 4th. So he's loaded the car. Now that that is loaded up, let me deal with the nuisance that is the Batman. Get out of here, Batman. End of round. So we shuffle the initiative cards. We move the round tracker down 1. So he's going to escape at the end of round 4. So I need to save these hostages and then get in there. Use my zip line too early, maybe. Maybe I can get there with a grapnel. I need to save these hostages first. Alright. These icons disappear, and then I get my new ones. We have... Alright, no hired guns, which is good. Then I will prepare...
I'm prepared for anything.
I'll prepare the middle dice for a double punch. And then I will roll these ones. Double batarang and a move. So let's double the batarang. So let's get the duplicate one here. Beautiful. And then we will draw our first initiative card. The enforcers will go. So this guy goes 1, 2, 3. His first action. And then this guy will go 1, 2. So this guy gets to 1 punch on Batman. Batman has 1, 2, 3. 4 because of Dark Knight mode. So 4 defense because of Dark Knight mode, and he is punching with a 2. And 2 blocks, so I do a classic Batman dodge. So that's pretty good for Batman there. And then we have Batman.
I seek justice.
So I guess the Batman will just knock that goon out with 1, 2 with the icon spent, and 3 natural. And I got 4 damage, and he blocks 2. 3 goes through. Lights out. That enforcer is down. And then I will use a boot icon to get this hostage free. Get out of here. She gets out, he gets out, and then... Alright, I'm going to throw 1 batarang at this ice person. So 1, 2, 3. So 5 dice at this ice. Ooh, 1 damage. I will re-roll all those with focus. Oh, look at that. Only 2 damage. So that turns that to that. Then I will use the other icon for another attack at the other one, this ice over here, the lady. So I throw my thermal batarangs at the ice sculpture. So this one hits, and then it heats up and then releases all this steam. And then my last action will be a wild action, which I'll use for a punch. And I'll punch the last remaining ice. So 1 icon plus my 3 natural. Yeah. Just wasn't enough to crack it, so I just give it a good old little kick. And it cracks. Alright, and then that's the Batman. Then the next initiative card is Hired Gun. There's no miniatures to activate, but the enforcers are ready for action. Enforcers receive 1 action and activate when any other henchman card is drawn. So 1, 2, 3, he gets his 1 action. Then the next card is Mr. Freeze. And because he is an Arkham inmate, escalation puts him to the bottom of the deck, and he gets 3 actions right now. And he's not encumbered by slow terrain, so he'll go 1, 2. And then he will 1, 2, 3, 4. He's 4. His range is 3. But because it'll just be -1 damage, so instead of 3, it'll be 2 coming through to the Batman. And Batman gets 4 blocks, and he's blocking against 2. Alright, 1's going through, so Batman takes 1, bringing him to 12. And then that was Mr. Freeze's second action, and Mr. Freeze's third action will be to hit him with ice again. Oh, Batman's got nothing, so I will re-roll that with focus. And 2 blocks. Whew. So, at the end of Mr. Freeze's turn, Place an icy terrain token under each enemy figure Mr. Freeze attacked. So that little token, yep. If the defending figure was already on icy terrain, they receive a cold token instead. If Mr. Freeze did at least 2 wounds to an enemy during his turn. Nope, he didn't. We have the next initiative card, the Batman. So the Batman resets.
I'll give them something to fear.
Alright. Now that I'm there, he will spend 1, 2, and then I'll add another third punch. So 3 icons and then 3 natural for 6 to kapow this villain. Or was that my last movement? Oh, I've got some boots. I can get out of there. Ooh. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then into 2 defense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attack into 2 defense. So 5 goes through. Knocks out that enforcer. And then the Batman will then move 1, 2, 3 to there. And then I will use this Batarang to free this hostage. And then this Batarang to free this hostage. So get out of there, you're safe. And then over the comms, Alfred. Now that all the civilians are safe, Master Bruce, you may want to focus your efforts on Mr. Freeze. Exactly. And then it's the Batman gun, so now it's just knock out Mr. Freeze before the end of round 4. And it's the Batman's turn, so better time than the present.
I know what has to be done.
I will use a wild action to make it another boot, and I will use my grapnel gun. Yeah, so I'm just going to change my movements. I'm going to spend both boot icons to get 6 movement, and I'll go and then swing around the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5. I've got 1 more movement point left. So I want to make sure. Yeah, I'll go here. 6. And then I will throw 1, 2, 3 batarangs at 4 batarangs at Mr. Freeze. 1, 2, 3, 4 plus my 3 value there, which is 7. So 7 dice at Mr. Freeze. Before I'll do that, I will play Driven by the Past. Roll 3 battle dice. Batman regains life equal to the number of hits you roll, then regains all of his focus, then remove this card from the game. So I recover 3 health, bringing my 12 to 15 back to full health. Then I gain all of my focus back.
My parents' memory will not fade.
I gain 3 health, bringing me to 15. So then I gain all of my focus back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 because of the world's greatest detective. I'm +1 on focus. And then I will roll, I'll pay my 2 actions. So I will, my 4 icons I'll spend my 4 range icons to do a ranged attack at Mr. Freeze. 7 dice. Alright. That's alright. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attack into Mr. Freeze's defense, which is 3. So 4 go through. So this one just bounces off the dome and sends him spinning. Oh, cut that out, Batman. So 4 damage to Mr. Freeze. And then at the end of my turn, I will throw the gadget smoke bombs. Choose up to 4 spaces that are within 3 choose up to 4 spaces that are within 3 spaces of you and in line of sight, and place 1 smoke token on each of those spaces. So I will go. So I'll put 4 smoke, so I'll throw those smoke bombs, and then this one will actually go under my feet. Just so I can break away if I need to. So I throw the smoke bombs on the ground. And then this last icon I can't really do anything with. And then the next action is the Crusher. So they have a shared line of sight, so he will go 1, 2. Oh, but now none of them can see anybody. They don't know where the Batman is.
Darkness surrounds you.
Where'd he go? So, yeah. The Crusher can't see where Batman is. And then we have Mr. Freeze will go. Mr. Freeze activates. He can't see anybody. The Batman is here somewhere. Check the roof. They all sort of look up. And that is the end of round 2. Saved my life a bit there. So icons reset. Alright, shuffle. So, end of round 2, start of round 3. I've got to knock out Mr. Freeze this turn. Or try to. Or this in the next turn. So I don't have to worry about that Crusher. Alright, and then we have prepared dice.
I'm prepared for
I will
anything.
prepare movement. It's my middle dice. Then I'll roll these. Punch and batarang. Alright, that's probably a good idea. Let's double the punch. So I'm going to duplicate the punch icon. So I will get double the punch, and then I will choose my wild for later. I will draw a card for initiative. Where is the Batman? And then my turn starts, my smoke bombs disappear.
From the shadows.
And they're all looking up, and then as the smoke clears, I'm standing there. There you are, Batman. Then Batman will throw 3 batarangs at Mr. Freeze. So 3 icons plus my 3, that's 6, into Mr. Freeze. 1, 2, 3. I will re-roll these 3. So, marks that one over. So 3 damage goes through to Mr. Freeze, taking him to 7 damage, 7 of 18. Alright, after that ranged attack, Batman will use his movement to move close to Mr. Freeze. And then I will use 1, 2, 3, 4 icons to do a punch. So 4 icons plus my 3 to Mr. Freeze. And then I will also pay 1 focus for the electric knuckles. While this is active, Batman's melee strikes deal 1 stun token if they hit, in addition to dealing wounds. And then I will use the knockout gas gadget as well. And then with that, 7 dice, knockout gas. I look at the last thermal clip on my belt, and then I click it to Mr. Freeze's chest, and then I hope to punch it as hard as I can. So here we go. 2. Oh, that's pretty good. So I'll keep that. Mr. Freeze blocks 3. Yeah. Let's re-roll 2 with a focus. Oh, nice. So, Mr. Freeze blocks 3. So I've got 1, 2, 3 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage to Mr. Freeze. So 1, 2, 3, boom, boom, boom. That brings him to 13 of 18. And we have 1 stun for the electric knuckles, and then 2 stuns for the knockout gas. So I just punch the thermal clip and poof, it hits him with a wave of hot and warm energy that just shorts out his system for a bit. Batman, no, I will stop you. And then the next card is the Batman again. So reset all those.
They don't stand a
I will
chance.
change my wild to a punch, and then I will just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll add 5 icons to this. Boom. Plus my 3, so that's 8. 8 into Mr. Freeze. 8 dice. And then we have, let's re-roll these 5 blanks or 5 blocks. All right, then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's take 3 away, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. 1, 2. So then we convert this to a 3, and I think Mr. Freeze is gone. 21 damage, so I crack the helmet. Oh no, Nora! And then with this goon seeing Mr. Freeze go down, he runs, slips, and then sort of slips on his back just as the police officers are getting out of their car. And then they arrest him as well. No, Batman, you cannot stop me. Just before Batman goes to capture him, he clicks something on his belt, which just sends his van next to him with just freezing cold ice everywhere. Batman covers himself up, and when the steam defrosts or when the steam dissipates, Mr. Freeze is nowhere to be seen. Mr. Freeze may not have gotten away with all the canisters, but he got away with enough to finish his freeze ray. The heroes need more clues to track down this chilling villain. So good work, Batman. He managed to stop them, and then we'll continue the battle in Heart of Ice, Act 2. Thanks for watching.